This is the funnest night ever!
Yeah, quit yanking our anuses!
Two people get together, do something social, have a few drinks, yada yada yada.
It's called Two Brothers. Two Brothers. It's just called Two Brothers.
You're fucking lucky we didn't start that way, are you bitch? Welcome to another episode of Two Brothers. Editor doesn't clearly want to be here for
What
this
do you mean?
episode.
I'm getting ready, fucker.
Bitch.
Alright,
guys. Well, tonight's episode is going to be a recap of E3. Any fan of video games and shit like that will know what E3 is. If you don't, it's a convention where all the big companies come together and just announce, a bunch of video games. And so that's what we're going to be talking about. We're also going to review Biomutant, do like a short review, because I did talk about it on our, was it comic book recommendations episode?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're going to be doing that. So, in no particular order. Well, actually, no, we are going to talk about Biomutant. So that is the order. So yeah, where we last left off when I was talking about Biomutant, I kind of gave a bit of my first impressions.
Mm-hmm.
I think I played, it's like 10 hours then?
No.
Or what was it,
I
more?
would say like 2 to 5 hours.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds more about right. But now I'm kind of close to the finish line at this point, so I might as well just
They already beat it.
No, I never fucking... Are we really gonna... I didn't fucking beat the game.
Okay.
I'm nearing the end, though. So... Oh, dude, I swear to God, if we do a video podcast and they see your bitch ass doing that shit.
Just fucking do it.
Got distracted there. So... Now I'm close to the end, so I can talk to you about what I think about the game. So...
What? What the fuck was that?
I got tongue because of the...
Oh.
So, okay.
Fucking, you froze, asshole. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. Right. So, anyways, Biomutant is developed by, I think it's called Experiment 101 or something like that.
Okay.
Can you check on that? And this is their first game, and they're very ambitious with this title. That's the first thing that I'll say.
Yep.
And
it is by Experiment 101.
Okay, great. I got that right. And let's talk about the good stuff first. So, the game is good. The game is fun.
Okay.
The combat is a bit clunky, but it is enjoyable. I think the most attractive part of the game is the loot and how you collect loot. They're very generous about how much loot you find when you're like exploring and everything.
Is it, you have to, like when you get your loot, like for weapons, cosmetic, stuff like that?
Yeah, it's a...
But do you have to like look for it and then get it, or you have to do a side mission or like stuff like that to get through?
Bitch, I fucking breathe too much on the... Go ahead.
Or is it like that? Like you have to do a side mission to get it, or you just gotta look around and it'll,
you do explore. That's primarily how you find like different sets of like clothing and shit like that, or like weapons or weapon parts. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think only a few side missions give you like armor and weapons and stuff, but it's mostly when you're off exploring and everything like that.
Okay.
So like for example, one of the side missions that you will come across is like finding a radioactive suit so you can continue exploring in a new region. So you go do that, and then that's how you gain like a new set of like clothes and everything. And then there's side missions where you get different mounts, so different like animals that you can ride and shit like that. But for the most part, you find weapon parts and armor parts by just exploring throughout the game, which that is really fun. I have to put that out there. I think that's gonna be, if people are wanting to play this game and like buy it, definitely that's one of like the selling points for me, and I was really impressed by that. The other thing is visually, it looks really good. You see me play it; it looks fucking.
I was surprised.
It looks really, really good, and it runs. For the most part, it runs good. When you're like exploring and running around and everything like that, or you're like on your mount, the frame rate kind of drops a bit, and sometimes it drops a lot, but it stays consistent with that 60 frames per second. So that's really good. I don't know about like the next gen consoles. I think they run the same. Yeah, so visually it looks good, and I have to give it up to the developers because like they came to this whole like RPG open world genre with their own unique take. You know, like I told you before, and the last time that we talked about it, it kind of reminds me of like Ratchet and Clank, a bit of like what was this, Devil May Cry? You know, just a little bit of it in there, but it's its own thing for sure. But if you,
for some reason, I thought it was gonna be like Dark Souls. You know, like just Dark Souls, like with the enemies and the big boss battles and stuff like that. But no, it's more open world. Like you said, it's kind of like you said it, like Ratchet and Clank, stuff like that. Those games. At
least when it comes to like the designs of the creatures and everything. But shit, what was I? I was talking about the. Oh yeah, and then the other thing that I liked is the crafting. So like crafting weapons, adding pieces of armor to your clothing and shit like that. I think that's what most of the fun like is like finding different weapons and like combining them together. Like I said, like you can find half of a fucking drill and combine it with like a fucking piece of like a pipe or some shit like that, and like create a fucking handgun.
Okay.
Or you can create like a shotgun or a rifle or a machine gun. Like that's really cool. I think that's my favorite part of the game is like tinkering and finding new shit, and it doesn't penalize you either. So I feel like you created a shotgun and you don't like it, you can dismantle it and you get all your parts back, and you can like experiment more.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Do like a fucking,
because other games will do that, but you'll lose those parts.
Yeah.
So that means,
and this one you don't. You keep all that shit and you can do whatever you like. And then the story like itself kind of, it reminds me a bit like, I want to say like Dark Souls, but also kind of like Breath of the Wild, because you have 4 different like bosses, like huge ass fucking monsters you have to take down. That's like your primary goal, because like they're called the World Eaters and they're like destroying Earth, and if you don't kill them, then Earth is extinct and shit. The planet becomes extinct. And that kind of reminds me of like, Zelda or like, like Dark Souls games and shit. So the story's pretty cool. Now let's get into the bad shit, because I think that there's a lot of problems with the games too. So it's the number one thing that I don't like is the narrator. And I think I talked about that. I might have talked about that last time.
He talks over
every fucking thing
you do. So yeah,
you could just be chilling and just be standing there, and he will fucking say something like some weird comment. It becomes a bit too much. And the thing that, like, on top of it that I don't like is that the creatures that you like talk to and everything, they also talk, but they talk like gibberish, so you don't know what the fuck they're saying. So you're hearing them, and then after you hear them, then the narrator translates what that person said. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? This is too much. This is too much for a fucking RPG. Now, since talking about this, they have updated the game, so you can remove that motherfucker completely.
Recently now?
Yeah, so you don't have to hear the narrator. You can just read the subtitles and hear the creatures just talking gibberish. Or you can do it the other way and don't listen to the creatures talking. Just hear the narrator talking. Okay. So they have updated it, so that's not much of a problem anymore. But that definitely is what irritated
a lot of people.
A lot of players who played the game. like I said before, the combat is clunky, and I think that that's going to be a hit or not a hit. It's going to be disappointing to people who are wanting to play this game because I found it to be pretty like floaty. Is that, I don't know if that's the right word. Like it doesn't. There's no like you don't feel like the connection when you're like hitting someone.
Oh, okay.
Like there's not like visceral feel to it.
Okay.
You know, it's just kind of doesn't feel like you're fucking hitting anything. It's weird. Same thing with the shooting too. But once you get used to it, you can kind of like brush that aside and not really worry about that. The other things is like they make a huge emphasis on like upgrading like your power, so you get to gain new abilities and shit like that. But they only take you so far that you end up not using them anymore, and they're not really that interesting except for like maybe like 2 or 3, and that's about it. And other than that, you're just using your fucking gun and your melee weapon, and that's it. Which sucks because like you find a lot of those like different points to upgrade. Like there's one for fucking upgrading your weapons and how you like unlocking combos, and there's one to unlock abilities and shit like that. So that's kind of wasted because like there's no incentive to go explore and find those like upgrade points.
Okay.
And shit. And then you're also like finding like crafting materials and shit like that, but after a certain point you can just like dismantle the shit you're not using, and you know you got your fucking materials right there. So let me try to think what else.
Would you say gameplay wise, how many hours? Let's say if you just did the main story, that would be what, maybe 10 hours or more?
I'd say a total of maybe 15.
Okay.
If you're just fucking going and doing the missions.
If you add the side missions, it'll be another 5 hours, so 20 maybe? Or
I'd
more?
say like 5 or 7 hours.
Okay.
You know, if you're wanting the fucking, because the side missions mostly consist of like doing like puzzles and shit. So if you're into that, you can go and find those puzzles and complete them and everything. But
so it's you say it's pretty lengthy for it's a pretty lengthy game, so it's kind of
So I mean, you're definitely getting a lot here.
Uh-huh.
The question is if like it's worth it.
Well, across the board, a lot of critics like fucking agreed with each other. Like they gave it a 6 out of 10 across the board.
A few, like maybe a few 7s, but those are mostly like YouTube, like critics and shit like that. I mean, across the board, they've been like.
Would you agree with that, or you want to say something like?
I would. When I first started playing it, it was for sure like around an 8, because I think I was enjoying it a lot more than most people did, and I still like it. But after playing it for a good amount of time, I can see the issues that the game has.
Uh-huh.
And the most notable thing is I think the developers was like really ambitious, and I think they bit off more than they can chew, you know, because they try to add in all this fucking shit, and a lot of it doesn't stick. You know, there's some shit that really works, like the fucking just doing the main missions, and some of the side missions exploring is fun, but a lot of the side missions don't really, like, they don't really matter.
Well, I was going to ask, are the side missions repetitive, or is it there's different side missions?
No, there's different side missions, but they all kind of feel like they're the same thing. They're like they're mostly kind of like fetch quests, or just like, you know, like I said, finding fucking different suits to unlock different biomes and shit like that, different regions and shit. So that, and then on top of that, it's like none of the fucking characters that you talk to have a personality because you have the fucking narrator talking for them. You know, so then
it takes a little bit of the experience.
Yeah, so it's like, what's the point of talking to these people? I don't really give a fuck about them.
Okay.
And the other thing is like at a certain point in the game, you stop, or you start to find people that you want to take with you to like this thing called the Ark, which is like a fucking spaceship. So if the world gets destroyed, you can just take those people with you and leave. But again, why do I want to take anybody if I don't connect with them, you know? They don't have any fucking personality. So you're just kind of, who cares? You just take whoever the fuck you want. And then they also have a bad and good system, so you can be like, choose to be bad or choose to be good. But that also doesn't really work,
So,
you know?
So is there different endings?
I think there is different endings depending on like what you do.
Okay.
But they don't. There's no incentive to go for the bad ending. You know,
Okay.
you kind of just want to do the good ending. The only reason why you want to do bad shit is so you can unlock different abilities that you normally wouldn't get if you were like doing, like I guess a good ending or whatever. So I don't know. There's just a lot of things I feel like they didn't work on a lot, you know, and like I said, they were just a bit ambitious.
Okay.
But if I were to put a final score on it, I think I would give it a 7.5
Out of 10?
out of 10.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah,
So you enjoyed
I enjoyed it like
experience?
for $60. I mean, I would say it's worth it.
Yeah.
You know? It's not bad. I mean, there's not really much out unless you have a PS5 and don't buy this and buy fucking Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
But if, you know, you're looking for something new to play, something different, you know, pick it up. Or just wait, because I'm pretty sure it's one of those games where it's going to drop
The
in price almost instantly. I would say probably next month it'd be almost like 40 or 30.
Okay.
So
The only reason I kept quiet is because I didn't play the game yet.
yeah.
So I have a lot of other games that I'm playing. So and really later down the line I might have my own review about it. But right now, it's you who's playing it. So
Yeah.
But the way I the gameplay that or seeing you play, I mean, it's kind of interesting. I want to see how it plays out because I'm kind of interested in.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's something different, So
I would say if you're already invested in wanting to play the game, pick it up and play it. But if you don't mind waiting for more patches and for them to like fix some of the issues that they can fix, then wait. Because and that's another thing I didn't mention. Was like the beginning is fucking awful, dude. The pacing is terrible in the beginning. That would be enough to turn people off for sure.
Okay.
Because the world doesn't open up to you until like maybe 2 or 3 hours, which is kind of standard for RPG. But like you compare it to like Cyberpunk, you don't see the fucking opening credits for like what, the first 5 hours,
something like that, yeah.
something like that. But you're engaged until you finally the world opens up to
story.
you. In Biomutant, you're just fucking, your hand is being held the entire fucking time for 3 hours, and like you're just wanting to explore, and you can't do that until like the 3 or 4 hour mark.
Okay.
So I don't know if they'll be able to fix that. I know that in the patch they cut out some of the fucking dialogue so that it can,
Just,
pick
yeah,
up the pace
yes.
and everything. But 7.5 is my grade. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to go buy it, so make your own decision, But it's 7.5 for me.
Which is not bad.
Which is not, no, it's not bad. It's more than what most fucking critics gave it for sure. They gave it fucking 6s and all that shit. But
Yeah.
7.5 is not bad. I'd say just wait for
A price drop
a price drop, or if you want to play it.
Go ahead.
The only people who should be playing is the people who've been wanting to, I guess. Other people are more casual, just
Just wait.
just wait.
Okay.
There's no point. So that's our review for Biomutant. Hopefully it didn't go too long, because the big part for tonight's episode is E3. We've been watching E3 since, like 2010 or 9?
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, I would say, because when did Left 4 Dead 2 come out?
2000 and...
I feel like 2010 or...
Let's say 12.
No, there's no way Left 4 Dead came out in 2010.
Okay, so...
Oh, sorry, yeah. So we've been watching it, and as the years went on, it's kind of gotten a bit...
2009.
Told you.
Okay.
It's gotten a bit stale. You know what I'm saying? And
there's no how do you say, those big announcements, those surprise games, like holy shit.
I think the last time we had something like was like 2015 or 16. No,
I would say Resident Evil 2,
which was
the remake,
when-
2018.
2018. Yeah, you're right.
When they
you're right.
dropped that, dude, come on, you were fucking psyched that it's really coming out. You know, they really were
That's
working
true.
on that.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say that was, for me, was like I was surprised, even though we heard rumors of they were working on it.
And
So,
we finally got to fucking see it then, which is really cool.
yeah, so
So yeah, we got a E3 2021, so the first E3 since the fucking pandemic. And I mean, they didn't have an E3 last year, but it was kind of weird. And this one's also kind of weird too,
Yeah.
because there's no audience or anything. But let's just talk about what we thought about it. So, in no particular order, you want to talk about just the games in general, then?
sure.
All right.
What do you
so,
want to talk about first?
Let's talk about the biggest, or at least one of the biggest ones, which is Elden Ring,
Yes.
which was on the first day. We finally got to see gameplay of it, and a fucking release date for it.
And a trailer.
Yeah, that's the gameplay is the fucking trailer. That was
Oh,
all gameplay.
not
And
really. They really just showed stuff here and there. I would like to see a gameplay.
okay, well,
you know,
okay.
or a demo, basically, how it plays. But
Yeah,
well, I'll
that's
probably see that later on this year. But yeah.
And dude, that was fucking awesome. You know, I was definitely expecting to see something from Elden Ring, but now that E3's passed, is definitely like one of my highlights.
Yeah, man. I was surprised too that they were gonna show it off this year. You know, I thought we're not gonna see it this year, but I was really surprised that the other thing that surprised me that it's not a next gen exclusive. You know, like for PS5 and Xbox Series X. It's for current gens too. I was like, oh shit. Everybody can get a chance to fucking play this game.
Yeah.
Either if you have a PS4 or PS5, whatever, you know?
Which, let me just say too, like, even though it is for like PS4 and Xbox One, I definitely would love to play this for fucking PS5.
Yeah.
And, like Xbox Series. Like, that's something I wouldn't mind going to buy a fucking
PS5.
a PS5 for. You know, a lot of people are like banking on like Ratchet and Clank or fucking Death Stranding, the director's cut. I was like, get the fuck out of here, okay? Because you can play that shit on PS4. I don't care what they add.
Yeah.
This is a new fucking game from Miyazaki and fucking George R.R. Martin. Like, this is what I think next gen is gonna be. You know. Now I was seeing a lot of people talk about it, and it's like it's gonna be the first huge like open world game, like from software. You can go wherever the fuck you want and
So-
start wherever you want.
Okay, so there's no like
There's no
like for example, like if you go to this area in the graveyard, just an example like in Dark Souls, and that's like level 20, you're level 8. You don't
can
have
go-
to
you can go wherever the fuck you want. Which I mean, you could do that in Dark Souls, like in the other games too. But
but
this seems like on a larger scale, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
okay.
It
that
kind of
sounds-
reminded me of like Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay.
You know, where you just like fucking riding and just going out into this huge fucking open field and land and shit. Totally fucking impressed for it, and I'm here for it. I can't wait.
Yeah, like
You know,
it's not how all the other ones like Dark Ages or it's not. It's a more, how do you say, like,
it's definitely more fantasy.
yeah.
you know,
So
like,
I'm kind of digging that.
yeah, which like Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 were kind of rooted in like history and like it definitely is fantasy, but this shit is like its own
Different,
thing.
yeah. So
You know.
I'm kind of excited to see what's. I want to see gameplay. That's what for sure. And it's coming out next year, dude. Early next year. Can't wait. And that's, to me, that's like the perfect way to start the next year too. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that was the first big one. Now you tell me what you think, or what's one of the things.
For me, that stuck out was that new one from I think it's Arcane. The guys that do
Redfall.
Redfall.
Yep.
The guys that do Dishonored and Deathloop's the new one that's coming out pretty soon.
Did they do Prey, or was that a different studio?
I thought it was,
I don't think they did.
no.
No, but yeah, they did Dishonored and Deathloop, like you're talking about.
And I think this one is not an exclusive, right? It is.
It's an exclusive. It's
For-
for Xbox.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's one
Like
of
the-
their big titles.
And that's like a reasoning now to get an Xbox. That shit looked
Yeah.
amazing. I was blown away of just the way it looked.
Hmm.
The characters, you fell in love with them, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess you hunt vampires, I guess?
Yeah, like I guess that's the premise of it, and obviously there's gonna be co-op involved, but
It looks like it.
But they were saying before they announced or presented it, was like you can play this by yourself or you can play with other people and shit. So, yeah, man, that shit look. I mean, it was only just a cinematic trailer, but you kind of get a vibe
feel
for what you're
is-
gonna be playing, what you're gonna be doing.
Like, they're sword characters, and each one has, like, their own ability,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So that's cool, and, oh my god. Like, yeah, I can't wait till...
It gave me Left 4 Dead vibes too.
Yeah.
You know.
I miss those type of games, so...
Yeah.
If that's, for me, I'm already on board, so...
Microsoft in general kind of impressed me, I think.
Yeah.
With a lot of their games, man.
Like with Halo?
Yeah, the fact that Halo Infinite's multiplayer is gonna be free.
Like, dude, come on. That was like a boss move right there.
That was a fucking boss move.
They put fucking Activision and EA
To
on
shame.
check. Yeah.
Definitely Activision, because like EA, people were kind of excited for Battlefield 2042, but with Halo Infinite being free, like multiplayer, how the fuck are you gonna compete with that?
Yeah.
You know, people are already gonna go to fucking Infinite multiplayer.
Yep.
You know,
And,
I was surprised by that shit.
and what are you saying? Like the season pass, you can keep
Oh,
it forever.
the battle pass, you can keep it, and you can continue working on it whenever the fuck you want.
So that's another fucking cool move. Like right now with Call of Duty, when you buy a season, you got a certain amount of time to fucking finish.
Yeah,
that
which
shit.
a lot of people don't have fucking time for that shit, and also it progresses really slowly.
Yeah.
So you're only gonna get it at a certain level if you're playing casually, and then it resets.
Yeah, which kind of sucks.
You know,
Cause I was looking for that skin for the
or
gun
that gun, yeah,
or whatever. Yeah.
the outfit for this fucking operator and shit.
So with how with Halo doing that, that's also cool, man.
They all said everything in the battle pass isn't going to be in a bundle, so there's no loot boxes, no nothing like that. And I know it's kind of hypocritical to be like, oh, they're not gonna have loot boxes, it's gonna be awesome, and then be tricked by the fucking developers, and then all of a sudden they put that in that. But EA, they have a fucking reputation with fucking with people.
All right, so I guess we're moving on to Battlefield here.
Battlefield. Let's talk about before we get into Battlefield, because you were saying that you're like a bit hesitant on it.
Yeah.
And it's because it's EA, and EA that has a fucking
Bad track record.
record.
Not even with their multiplayer, with their sports games too.
Yeah,
So
it's all a copy and paste.
Yeah.
With like fucking Madden and like NBA, or not NBA. NBA doesn't, or that's 2K.
That's okay.
But yeah, and Madden or like fucking FIFA,
stuff like that. Star Wars.
Yeah, which like Fallen Order did have some issues too.
Yeah, so there you go.
So
there's a lot of people hyped for this. I'm telling you, and it's true with the track record with 4 or 5, Battlefield 1. Yeah, it's gonna have that. They say hype train in the beginning of its release.
Yeah.
Maybe for 3 months, and it's gonna die out.
You saying about this one?
Yeah.
Okay, you're calling it, huh?
I'm still calling it. I'm excited, but at the same time, I know it's not gonna have that staining power as like Call of Duty how it is right now.
Yeah, that is true. And there's definitely a lot of other games like Apex Legends that still has a huge following and everything. Overwatch 2 is gonna be coming out. That's already has a huge fucking following. So yeah, I mean, I was impressed by it, at least with the gameplay.
Albert, come on, you can do all that shit that you saw with blowing up helicopters into cars, and you can do that in the last Battlefield. That's nothing new.
Well, I mean, what is new is that you can fucking change your attachments on the fly.
No, that's cool.
Huh? or ride into a fucking tornado.
That's all that I agree with that. The grappling hook and all that, I'm down.
This might be the biggest map too for any Battlefield game.
So
I mean, it does have things going for it. Let's not dismiss that.
yeah, I'm not saying that it's.
But
not.
you are right when you're saying that, like, a lot of people tend to jump on the fucking hype train.
And you know why? Sorry, is because it releases a month or before or after Call of Duty, which I think that's a bad marketing idea.
Or like move.
Move, yes,
Wait,
because it always happens.
This is coming out when, October or November?
October, I think.
Okay.
But still,
Yeah, I don't know, man.
it's always around the new Call of Duty, always, and that's why it gets good ratings and it has a following.
Yeah.
But it never outsells Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It's because it always comes out simultaneously with the Call of Duty.
I mean, look, I'll say this. I hope that it succeeds, and I do hope that it fucking gets a lot of players and everything, and that it does beat Call of Duty. But it's just I'm hesitant.
Yeah, but because right now Call of Duty is growing stale as shit, dude, and to be honest, it's kind of annoying.
Annoying is putting it mildly, dude.
Yeah, with the problems that it has, they haven't fixed a lot of things.
No new fucking map. It's just the same map, but like in a different time period.
Yeah.
It's like people want a new fucking map. I think that's why you see everyone going to what do they call it? Shit, it's not Battle Royale. What's the other thing?
What do you mean?
It's like the more smaller, like quicker version of Battle Royale. Rebirth.
Yeah.
Because it's a new map, right?
Yeah.
Or at least, yeah, I think so. So people want a new map, but that shit. Look, we can talk about Call of Duty. We have to save it for that episode. We have Battlefield 2042. We saw some gameplay of it. It looked good. We're not gonna shit on it too much, but we're just gonna have to wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
What else? Let me look and see.
No, I got one right here.
Okay.
It said it's coming out this year. Hopefully it does. Evil
Avatar.
Dead.
Oh.
Fuck off with that shit.
I was fucking that Avatar. They fucking announced Avatar.
Yep.
That pissed me the fuck off, man.
Yeah, it did.
Well, fuck. They haven't even come out with the sequel for Avatar.
And they're making a game out
And they're
of it?
making a fucking game. Anyway, sorry.
But Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. Talk about a fucking multiplayer game. That shit looks fucking cool.
Now that, look, I don't know what to say, dude. I'm amazed. I'm a big fan of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man. Like, I just can't wait. Like, it's so fun. I just want to play it already.
Yeah, and I remember playing, like I said, was it Regeneration?
Yeah.
That's what it's called? Yeah, Regeneration. The PlayStation 1 game, the other PlayStation 2 game. But we haven't had anything for Evil Dead in a long time. And this is it. This is the next big Evil Dead game. And Evil Dead itself, like the movie and there, like the franchise, like it screams to be a fucking video game.
It does.
And finally they're making it into one. And seeing the gameplay of it, they showed a lot of like gameplay in the trailer. It looks fucking good, man.
The characters, the enemies.
They made it so that each character you play, like, you're interested in wanting to play, not just fucking Ash. You don't just go for Ash. You can play all the other ones. It looks fucking interesting.
Which is cool. Like, they're bringing characters from the show,
from the movies.
Like, come on, man.
Imagine the different skins that you can like use. Like, I can just think of
like
all the
young
fucking
Ash
things.
versus the fat Ash.
Yeah, versus old Ash and everything. You can switch out his chainsaw for his hand.
Or like the mechanical one again.
Yeah, or like him with his hand and he's using an axe or some shit. Like, there's so many fucking possibilities.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking excited for it. And it is supposed to come out for this year.
But knowing how games are.
Yeah.
So
we'll see where it, how it ends up. But that looks really fucking good. Another game which kind of a mention because we already knew about it is like Back for Blood. They show a little bit more of that, and I'm still excited for it.
What else can you say about Back for Blood? Sorry.
Yeah, we talked about it in the games that deserve
Yeah.
a sequel. Back for Blood is like the Left 4 Dead 3 that we wanted.
And it is.
It still looks fucking
It's
good.
the guys who worked on Left 4 Dead are making
Yeah.
it. So what else do you want? You know.
You might have to look this up for me, but that other game that looked like Left 4 Dead 2, do you remember that? Like it was like in space or some shit.
Motherfucker.
That's actually made by one of the developers from Evil Dead from Left 4 Dead. So, let's see if I can find it. Well, while you're finding that, let me talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, because that also got announced, and
I was surprised it's coming out this year.
me too, because I only saw the trailer, and the trailer didn't give a release date. Turns out it's coming out in October of this year. So they've been making this fucking game for a while, and it's made by Eidos Montreal, who did the Deus Ex games, which is a departure from Deus Ex, because they're finally making a Marvel game, which is fucking different. And I haven't seen the gameplay of it, only seen a little bit from like the trailer, but already it looks fucking better than the Avengers game, like leaps and bounds better. I don't know how that's gonna be when I finally like play it, but just based off some of the gameplay of it, it looks fucking good. And you're playing as Star-Lord, so you don't get to play as any of the other Guardians, I don't think. No, that's what they said. And you like get to command each of the Guardians, and like there's like dialogue tree branches, so you can like disagree with one of the Guardians or agree with the other, and it affects your relationship. It affects what they do when you play the game. Like, and then there's humor, attitude. Like, I feel like they definitely got this one right. You know,
The Avengers, they were so ambitious. So, or you can play as the Hulk. You can play as Iron Man.
you can fucking like the week after it's released, you can play as Hawkeye. And it was like none of that shit
never
happened.
happened. Yeah.
None of that shit happened.
And a lot of the, controversial part of that game is just the looting. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah, and boring.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually loot things. You just loot like abilities, and like it changes like your stats and anything. You don't look different, which I kind of was okay with for a little bit, but then I was like, this is fucking boring, man.
Yeah.
You know.
So
with Guardians of the Galaxy, all that shit is out the fucking door.
again, hopefully it does come out this year.
Yeah.
But look what happened
it
with
might get pushed.
with the Avengers. It had multiple fucking pushes.
But I feel like that one got delayed because fans were like, fuck no, we don't want this shit. The characters don't look good. The gameplay was kind of rough when they like leaked it and everything, so I think that had to do with a lot of the delays. But this one, everyone's been saying a lot of good shit about it. Like,
So,
but we'll see. You know. We'll
the
see.
next one was the one that started it off, and I was kind of surprised because I'm kind of tired with this franchise. We talked about it in the last episode. Is Wonderland, so I was kind of surprised at what direction it's going. So it's some more magical, mythical gameplay wise, which I'm kind of excited for, and it has, big names attached to it. So
yeah, who was
Andy Samberg.
Andy Samberg.
Who else?
Fuck, who else was the other one?
Let's see, I think they might have here.
I mean, obviously, like Ashley Birch
Wanda
is on there.
Sykes, Will
Wanda
Arnett.
Sykes, yep. So already they got some pretty good people to be in the fucking game. And it's funny people too.
Yeah, it's coming out next year sometime. He just said they didn't give a release date, but sometime next year.
Yeah, and in our games that deserve a sequel, we did talk about Borderlands and how like they keep doing the same shit with Borderlands. This looks fucking good and different.
So hopefully, it's different. Hopefully, I don't know. Like, that's what I'm looking for. It's just different,
Yeah.
So,
another thing going back to Microsoft is they showed all the games that were coming out for Game Pass and everything, and they did show Starfield. I thought I would give it a mention, but even though I'm not too interested in it, that's going to be an exclusive now too, which is good for Microsoft, I guess. But what I was really impressed is all the games that are coming out in Game Pass, man. A lot of the fucking games you can play on Game Pass.
Which is cool.
Yeah, and I think they were saying that like every month you're gonna get a new fucking game on Game Pass, and one of them is Psychonauts 2.
Back for Blood.
Back for Blood.
What else? Yeah, you're right. I don't know. There's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a fucking lot. But we finally got a release date for Psychonauts 2, and I've been waiting for that fucking game for a while.
I know, dude. Fucking finally.
And I'm not talking about when we last saw it. People have been wanting a sequel since the fucking first one that came out.
I know.
So that's been a long time. When did it come out? 2005?
Yeah.
Almost 15 fucking years for a sequel for Psychonauts.
It better turn out good, dude, because the first one was so different of a game.
Yeah.
And that's why people fell in love with it.
It was quirky, it was weird, and it was funny, and it was engaging. And I couldn't really tell, like, because it also felt like there are other games that they've made, like the point and click, but it kind of had that vibe to it, like when you're talking to different people and everything. So hopefully Psychonauts 2 turns out good. It looks fucking good.
Another one where they barely just throw it in there on the Xbox was Outer Worlds 2 that they're working on.
Yeah, Outer Worlds 2, which we only saw a cinematic trailer for it.
Like for 10 seconds.
That shit was funny though. They were talking about like, oh, we've only got the fucking title card ready, and like we only started working on the game.
Which I'm excited for because the first one was great. I had fun with it, but it was too short.
It was. So hopefully they make it longer. Hopefully there's more shit to do. But we can't say much about Outer Worlds 2 because they only announced it. You know.
Another one. I don't know when it's coming out, but oh my god, dude! I was blown away by the trailer. Was Atomic Heart. I think.
Atomic Heart. Yeah,
that an exclusive too for Xbox.
And I think that's also going to be on Game Pass.
Like, come on, dude! How can you not say I'm going to also pick up an Xbox?
Yeah.
Atomic Heart looks fucking cool, man. Like it's.
Look, man. Like,
go ahead.
I was gonna just say it a little bit because we can talk about console wars all fucking night, but Microsoft doing this shit with like Bethesda and like their exclusives and everything, and the Game Pass thing, like they definitely fucking leveled the playing field. So it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna go for a PS5. Why would I want an Xbox? Like, this is why you want a fucking Xbox Series X. You know, because you are getting all these fucking games when you subscribe to Game Pass, and you're also getting the exclusives that Bethesda are making.
Yeah. You
know, not just Starfield, not just fucking Redfall. It's like any Wolfenstein game that comes out or Doom game that comes out. Especially fucking Doom. That's a huge property. Now that's going to be exclusive for fucking Xbox?
I think just for the year, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did hear that, but, like, that's still a lot of fucking time.
Yeah.
To keep people on fucking Xbox. You know? Because it's like a year. Like, if I fucking found out that the next Doom was on Xbox and it's only for a year, bitch, I'm playing it on the fucking Xbox. I'm not waiting for another year to buy it or to play it on PlayStation. You know, like, that's the incentive now. So I've got no reason to not
pick up at least both of them.
Both of them, but like, if it were up to me, like now, if like let's say both of them were only one of them were in stock, I'd go with the fucking Xbox.
Well, yeah. Well, now seeing their showcase, dude, come on.
So I'm definitely fucking impressed with all that shit.
I know, man. Like,
let's see. Because we are starting to, you know... Was that it? I feel like there was more. I know Nintendo kind of came out with a few announcements. Metroid Dread, which that game, I don't know too much about it. All I know is that game has been also in development for a fucking while too. And so that's finally getting a fucking release date, which is this year, which I'm pretty sure that has a lot of fans... the Metroid series very excited. I haven't played any of the fucking Metroid games.
Well, it's a good way to jump into
But this,
it now.
yes, I wouldn't mind trying this out. They also announced a few games that were coming out for the Switch later this year. Mostly like party games that I'm not really like interested in.
You're expecting? You said they were gonna probably announce
a new console,
the Switch Pro.
the Switch Pro, but I guess not. Which is a fucking damn shame. Like,
Yeah.
I think I told you. I think they're waiting till next year.
You think?
You know? Yeah, I think they're waiting till next year because they also haven't. They showed Breath of the Wild, like the sequel, but they haven't given it a fucking actual title.
Okay.
Like it's not Breath of the Wild 2, that's for sure. And they're saying that they're keeping it under wraps because it's gonna be meaningful, and I want to think it has to relate to
the Pro.
To the Pro. And
that makes sense.
maybe some of the features on the Pro is what's going to be that's going to make the sequel fucking better or some shit. I don't know. So I think they're going to wait till next year for that. And other than that, man, I mean, there were so many fucking games that they showed. I wouldn't say I was disappointed by this year's E3.
It was alright. It was
alright.
You know, as the last couple, E3s were fucking disappointing and
Yeah, at least this one they showed enough games to get me like excited, but we were still missing Hellblade. We were still missing Beyond and Good and Evil. We were still missing Bayonetta 3.
What else?
Any news about a new Resident Evil game from Capcom? They didn't say shit, except that they're working on DLC for Village.
Which I'm okay with that, but yeah.
No new game from NetherRealm, which I think they're going to announce in VGAs because that's what they did with Mortal Kombat.
I think so.
So I think they're probably going to announce it then. So, yeah, I mean, no Bloodborne, which that was too much to, like...
At least the remastered or what?
Yeah. But who knows? I mean, maybe they'll be for a few years down the line or something. They didn't address the fucking shortage of the systems. I think that they should have fucking addressed it. Like, hey, look, we're sorry that we fucked up, and hopefully you guys get it soon, or like, I don't know, drop a fucking announcement like we're coming out with a new fucking shipment later this year so everyone can get one or some shit.
That would have been great. You're right, yeah.
But no, they didn't address that, which kind of sucked. No Sony at all this year.
I thought they're not going to be in E3 anymore.
No, I think they're doing their State of Play.
So, yeah, there you go.
But even their State of Plays have been fucking disappointing, man.
Yeah, it was.
Because didn't they have one like 2 weeks ago?
And nothing great.
I didn't even know it was fucking happening. So I was kind of disappointed. But overall, E3 this wasn't the worst, dude. I can think of ones that were fucking terrible.
Yeah, so...
So this one there was a lot of games to look forward to. Definitely a good time to be excited for next year, because
next gen, consoles too. There's a lot of incentives for
the
Xbox or PlayStation now.
Definitely, I think so. Mostly for Xbox, if I'm being honest, because we're not getting Horizon this year. We're not getting God of War this year. But Xbox, like, you're getting Halo. And then you're getting Atomic Heart on the Xbox Game Pass. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's on PS4, but still. And then you're also getting it on. You're getting Psychonauts. Like, there's just more reason to go for Xbox right now.
Did you say Halo too?
Yeah, Halo.
With the free multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a lot to be excited for. We probably missed a lot of games, but these are just the ones that got us really excited.
Excited, yeah.
That'll about do it for this episode. We might do like a poll on Facebook, see what you guys want us to talk about. Yeah. Because we are running out of ideas.
How the fuck are we running out of ideas, Albert?
I'm just kidding. We're not.
God.
We're not. Well, but we'll be back. And I'll also want to do a quick thing here that we are going to be collaborating with Action Nerd Gaming, my close friend, Maurice.
Yep.
And we're going to be doing a retrospective on Call of Duty. So that would be a great time to fucking rant about it.
Might get heated.
It's going to be heated, and it might be one of the longest episodes. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. So tune in for that. This has been Two Brothers. I am
Brothers.
Alberto,
I am Edgar.
and we'll see you guys on the next
Next time,
episode.
another episode.